Are we live? Are we live? Yes, it looks like we might just be live. What is up, Star Wars fans? What is up? Today we got a lot of fun Star Wars news to talk about. We have the Bad Batch, 2 episodes tomorrow. 2 episodes tomorrow. Of course, we still have the countdown going for The Mandalorian Season 3. That happens in 21 days, in 10 hours, in 59 minutes, in 17 seconds, give or take 3 hours, depending on where you are in the world. It's going to be a fun stream today. We got to talk about, of course, some more Mandalorian news. Some posters were released. Pedro Pascal was on the Tonight Show or something like that, talking about it. There's a ton to talk about The Mandalorian, but we also have a Qi'ra novel being possibly released in October. We have 2 episodes of The Bad Batch, Sabine possibly being in the 2nd season of The Mandalorian. We got a lot to talk, even some Andor news. There's a ton of Star Wars news to get into today, but of course, 21 days until The Mandalorian Season 3. That is wild. That is so much fun. I can't wait for this season. It's going to be a blast. Why does it always do that when I do that, huh? Why I gotta do that? But whatever. Okay, so the countdown continues. We're going to take the countdown off the screen because it's a lot easier for me for it not to be there. So there goes the countdown. 21 days until The Mandalorian. That is very exciting. Very, very exciting. So let's start off with The Bad Batch. The Bad Batch is getting 2 episodes tomorrow. 2 episodes tomorrow. And these 2 episodes could change everything. I've sit here on the live streams for weeks and weeks now going, what's going to happen in the next episode of The Bad Batch? Is it actually going to have something to do with the plot of the show? Finally, are we actually going to get into the plot of what this show is going to be about? Finally. Like, what is going on? And what, why is the Bad Batch taking so long to get started? Why is the Bad Batch taking this long to actually give us some plot? Now, however, I liked the last episode. I really enjoyed the last episode with Gungi going back to Kashyyyk, having the Trandoshians, who have always kept the Wookiees as slaves, having them working with the Empire because the Empire is evil, the Trandoshians are evil. A lot of those types of things were in the last episode, and it was really fun. However, still nothing to further the plot of the Bad Batch themselves. Still nothing to keep the Bad Batch moving forward. Now, this week, having 2 episodes, episodes 7 and 8, marks the halfway mark of this season. The halfway mark of season 2 of the Bad Batch, and yet still no plot to the show. However, I think this is when the show is going to start to get rolling. And why do I think that? Well, let's take a peek at the titles for the episodes. Now, first of all, hang on. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go again. Hang on. Nope. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Watch party. Star Wars Politics wants to do a watch party tonight. You think I'm waking up at 3 a.m.? Okay, here's my thing with doing a watch party for the Bad Batch. The Bad Batch, I would do a watch party, sure, if they did anything for me. If this show had a great plot and episodes 7 and 8 were going into like, oh wow, this is going to be great. I can't wait for these 2 episodes. Sure, I'd do a watch party. I'd stay up until 3 a.m. for sure. But the Bad Batch has yet to give me anything to desire, anything to stay up until 3 a.m. in the morning to watch episodes 7 and 8. Episode 1 I got really excited for. Star Wars Politics says it could start tonight. Yes, it could start tonight, but I would rather them prove it to me first than me stay up until 3 a.m. and be disappointed yet again. That's my take on it, at least. Until the Bad Batch proves it. And see, like, The Mandalorian has proved it. I'm going to do watch parties for The Mandalorian because it's proved that it is good and it is worth my staying up till 3 a.m., ruining my sleep schedule forever. The Bad Batch has yet to prove it. I did it for the premiere. And it did not wow me. It did not do what I thought it was going to do. Like the first episode of the first season of The Bad Batch did. There was none of that. And we're now going on 7 episodes in, and there's still no plot to the show. So yeah, I'm definitely not doing a watch party. That's for sure. But here is where it gets interesting. This is a post from Star Wars from 6 weeks ago, because it is the titles for each of the episodes. So tomorrow is February 8th, because today is February 7th, and February 8th usually follows February 7th, just usually. But episode 7 and 8, it's a double up episode tomorrow, and halfway through the season. But the name of episode 7 is The Clone Conspiracy, and episode 8 is Truth and Consequences. Now this could go one of 2 ways. It could go one of 3 ways, but one of 2 ways, I think, at least. The Clone Conspiracy. Now there's this overarching story of the entire Bad Batch saga, whatever you want to series, whatever you want to call it, that the clones are being phased out by stormtroopers. The first season was heavily about Admiral Rampart, and Tarkin wanting to get rid of the clones. They aren't going to cooperate as much as stormtroopers who are trained by the Empire would. So, Clone Conspiracy, talking about this in episode 7, could be along the lines of Commander Cody coming back, because he was in episode 3, coming back and maybe trying to make other clones turn on the Empire, or try to get to other clones, talking to them, saying, look, the Empire is bad. We had the inhibitor chips, we destroyed the Jedi, and that was in our programming, but we aren't programmed to just listen to every specific order that the Empire is giving us, to just kill innocent civilians and do all this crazy stuff, but stormtroopers will do that. Does that make sense? So the Clone Conspiracy might be the clones defecting, or some of the clones, as i.e. Commander Cody, defecting from the Empire. So a lot of people said, will we see Commander Cody in the rest of the season? I think if there is a chance we do see him, it's most likely in episode 7, The Clone Conspiracy. Because we still haven't seen Crosshair since that 3rd episode, which is kind of strange. So it's like the Bad Batch, but Crosshair's a member of the Bad Batch, and he's only been in 1 episode so far. So it's kind of a weird thing where I think we're going to see Crosshair and Commander Cody in this 7th episode, but does that mean we're not going to see the other members of the Bad Batch again? Is it just going to be like 2 completely separate stories? When are they going to meet? When are these 2 stories going to meet? And right now there's no plot to the show, so there really is no meeting point. There really is no, oh, here's what's going to happen this week on the Bad Batch. Crosshair and the Bad Batch are on a direct collision course because of this thing. That's not happening. It's not happening. So I could definitely see episode 7 being a Commander Cody and Crosshair in the Empire episode, and then episode 8 being another getting back to the Bad Batch episode, and hopefully furthering the plot, which would be nice. My other theory on this is, and it is kind of a fanboy dream, is Mount Tantus. Now, Mount Tantus, if you guys are unfamiliar, Mount Tantus is, of course, the cloning facility, or we now believe it's a cloning facility. In Legends, it was Palpatine's kind of like warehouse almost for all of his cool ancient artifacts and whatever. And then Thrawn came in and turned it into a cloning facility for his army. There was also a Dark Jedi protecting it. A lot of crazy stuff happened with Mount Tantus in Legends, but now it's in canon for the first time at the end of the Bad Batch Season 1. And it's where Nala Se, who was the cloner on Kamino, goes with the Empire to clone something. We don't know what she's cloning. We don't know what she's doing. We don't know what's going on at Mount Tantus right now in Star Wars canon. We don't. We can assume it's some type of cloning. We can assume that something weird is going on there, but we don't actually know. Now, the clone conspiracy could be geared towards cloning on Mount Tantus. Mount Tantus, again, still hasn't been seen in the first 6 episodes of this show, when it was the huge cliffhanger tease at the end of the first season. And it's very strange. I find it very, very strange. I mean, maybe if you're looking at the other episode names on this list, the Outpost could possibly be referring to Mount Tantus. The Summit could also be referring to Mount Tantus. I don't see them waiting all the way until episode 15 to reintroduce Mount Tantus. I think that's a very missed opportunity there. If they wait that long, it's not the smartest idea, I think. I think episode 7 is the perfect time to do it. It's the halfway mark almost of the season. Give us some Mount Tantus. Give us some Mount Tantus. Please. Anybody, please. Star Wars Politics says, kind of like we didn't see Moff Gideon until halfway through season 2 of The Mandalorian. That's true. That is true. We didn't see Moff Gideon for the first half of The Mandalorian. That is true. But, see, here's the thing. I just, hang on. Okay. Star Wars Politics follows up and says, you're getting too hyped. Hang on. You're going to hype yourself up into a watch party. Yeah, I really hope not. If Mount Tantus, if I could like somehow confirm that Mount Tantus was going to be in this episode, I would do a watch party. I would. Mount Tantus is just that cool of a location in Star Wars Legends and in Star Wars in general that I would do a watch party. The lore behind Mount Tantus is so extreme and so cool, with Thrawn and Jorah Sabaoth and Luke Skywalker. Like, you're talking about some of the coolest stuffs in that Heir to the Empire trilogy. There's coolest stuffs. Did I just say coolest stuffs? The coolest stuff in the Heir to the Empire trilogy. I would definitely stay up till 3 a.m. to watch that. That's the thing. Star Wars is so weird where it comes out at 3 a.m. for some reason in like other shows on HBO Max or whatever. They haven't figured it out because these HBO Max shows come out at 9 p.m. or whatever, 6 p.m., whatever it is, so that people can actually watch it before they go to sleep. Unlike Disney Plus, who releases it at 3 a.m. for no reason at all. Literally no reason at all. I don't understand. Star Wars Politics says, we for sure are going to get Coruscant tonight. So that's another thing. Coruscant is of course the capital of the Empire and the Republic before the Empire. But Palpatine's in the trailer. Palpatine, I almost put Palpatine in the thumbnail today, but the whole Mando stuff we'll get into. But Palpatine is in the trailer for The Bad Batch Season 2. So he's obviously going to be in The Bad Batch Season 2. Actually, I think in Politics, you brought this up on Saturday, but Bail Organa is also in the trailer as well, right? Bail Organa is in the The Bad Batch Season 2 trailer, right? So Bail, of course, is a senator, and Palpatine in the trailer looks like he's sitting in the Senate building. So maybe, yes, we could get to Coruscant today. This episode, we could do some fun stuff on Coruscant. It would be fun. It would be cool, and it would be awesome. But here's what I'm thinking. If this is Mount Tantus, if we're actually talking about Mount Tantus here, what does that mean moving forward in this season or in this show in general? Mount Tantus, it could change everything, and it could change everything not only for the Bad Batch in the second half of the second season of the Bad Batch, but it could change everything for the Mandalorian. It could change everything for the Mandalorian timeline in the Ahsoka show, in the Skeleton Crew show, and everything moving further down the line, possibly a Book of Boba Fett Season 2. It could change everything because it could explain where Grogu was this entire time. We don't know where Grogu has been. Everybody has speculated about who saved him during Order 66 and all that fun stuff. But nobody is really talking about where he's been between Order 66 and the beginning of The Mandalorian Season 1. Because in The Mandalorian Season 1, he's being protected or he's captured by pirates. And Mando and IG-88 are both sent there to save him. So it's very strange to me, at least, that nobody really talks about where Grogu has been. And the only logical explanation in my mind, the only logical explanation to where Grogu has been this entire time is Mount Tantus. The only reason he's not been involved in any other character in the Star Wars story right now is because he is on Mount Tantus, being cloned, being worked on by, now let's say, maybe Palpatine shows up there. That is the only explanation to me. So maybe, just maybe, like we saw in the last episode, Gungi was being sold to a very high-paying buyer in that last episode of the Mandalorian. I mean, of the Bad Batch, not the Mandalorian, the Bad Batch. So he was being sold to these robots. Or the robots were selling him to this very wealthy buyer, to say the least. So what if this buyer was the Empire or Palpatine, selling or buying him to bring Gungi to Mount Tantus, getting another Force user, a Force-wielding Wookiee, by the way, which is wild. One of the only ones that we've ever seen before in Star Wars, actually. So a Force-wielding Wookiee, and now you have a Yoda's species sitting on Mount Tantus being experimented on. It doesn't get much cooler than that. I mean, you're talking some cool Star Wars could be seen in the second half of the Bad Batch Season 2, which would be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Star Wars Politics says, would Empire buy, though, or just take? True, the Empire could just take him, but there might be a circumstance where he has to be bought. Maybe there's a point in time where Gungi has been captured by these robots, and instead of just, because those robots seem to have, I forget who they were or who they worked for or what their organization even was, but there seemed to be a big organization of those robots, and the Bad Batch barely escaped or whatever. So I think that it would be easier for the Empire to just buy him. I mean, they have the credits. Well, why not just purchase him? So let's pull it up. Do we think, or do you think we will see Mount Tantus tonight in episode 7 of Bad Batch? Yes or no? You guys tell me. Are we seeing Mount Tantus tonight? Should I stay up till 3 a.m.? Politics. You yeah, you might have said it correctly. I might be convincing myself to stay up till 3 a.m. Will we see Mount Tantus tonight in the Bad Batch episode 7 or 8? 7 or 8. We're getting 2 episodes tonight. 2 episodes of the Bad Batch tonight. What do we think? What do you think? Do you think we're going to Coruscant? Do you think we're going to see Palpatine? What do we think about the Bad Batch? Any predictions? Any predictions before we move on and get into some of the crazy hype about this Mandalorian Season 3? Star Wars Politics says yes. Just a tease, though. So I could see that. I could see them teasing out the Mount Tantus stuff in the background until the finale and then them going there or something along those lines. I could see that. I could see that for sure. But I just hope that they go there immediately. Or at least we see... Do you think we'll see Grogu there? Like, at any point in the season, do you think we'll see Grogu on Mount Tantus? Or maybe it's alluded to or something like they show up to Mount Tantus and one of the doctors is like, hide the child or something like that. And everybody's like, oh my God, the child, it's Grogu! Grogu confirmed! Or they go, or Echo, or Tech goes into like some system and reads Grogu. Grogu's in cell block. What's Leia's cell block? I completely forget. All right, let's move on to the Mandalorian Season 3 hype. The Mandalorian Season 3 hype, I mean, so we know it's 21 days away. And the closer and closer it gets, the more and more excited I get. Yes, Disney only cares about dollar signs. Only dollar signs. That is true. That is true. That is very true. But The Mandalorian is a big, big, big dollar sign for Disney, and it's coming in 21 days. But here is where things get pretty crazy. So we got some new posters for The Mandalorian Season 3 that are pretty cool. Let's check out these posters. So these... Oh, it's cut off. What the heck? Hang on. Is that better? Oh, hang on. Scroll down here. It's still cut off a little bit. Hang on. Let me shrink this a little bit. Just a little bit. And then go like that. And then how's that? Perfect. Okay. So the Mandalorian season 3 reveals new posters featuring Bo-Katan and more. So these posters are actually pretty gosh darn cool. Obviously, they seem to be leaked because they're pretty blurry photos, to say the least. But this one is pretty cool to start. This is Din, of course, Bo-Katan right there, the Armorer, and then Paz Vizsla. Now, we haven't seen Paz since the Book of Boba Fett. And he was in the first season of The Mandalorian. Was he in the second season? Was Paz in the second season of The Mandalorian? Somebody tell me in the chat. But Paz seems to be getting a bigger role in this third season. He's in a lot of the trailers, and seemingly he's going to have a bigger role. Of course, there's going to be a lot more Mandalorian, and we'll get into what Pedro says about there being bigger Mandalorian battles in a lot more Mandalorian in this third season. But Paz will be there. So Din and Bo take flight in this poster. As it shows, they're using their jetpacks, but it doesn't seem like they're fighting each other here. Now, this is just a poster, of course, but usually in the marketing, they're trying to make it seem as though that Din and Bo are supposed to be fighting. They're supposed to have this rivalry, a fight for the throne on Mandalore, and that's not kind of. I'm not getting that from this poster. I'm not getting that from this poster at all. But you got Din, you got Bo, both using jetpacks. I mean, Mandalorians are so cool. It's so cool. Viral sensation. Grogu is seen hovering and wearing Beskar armor. His Beskar armor that Luke gifted, or Mando gave him, but Luke gave him the option, and he chose the Beskar armor, of course, because he's the GOAT. Why is it clearer on that screen, but not the... I don't know. It looks like Grogu also got a new pod. Somebody else mentioned that in the comments of another video, but it does look like he got a brand new pod here. Like, the old one was like more silver and beat up. Maybe Grogu's getting some upgrades. Maybe. A fan favorite father and son duo, melt hearts. You got them in the N1 Starfighter, of course. You got Din's like little wrist thing. Do you actually think we'll hear Grogu talk this season? That's what I really want to know. Is Grogu gonna say his first words, and what's he gonna sound like? Is he actually just gonna be like, "Hello, my name is Grogu"? Because that would be very disappointing. Hang on. There we go. This one's like a package. I don't know why it's like this. It seems to be for a toy or something like that, or stickers or whatever it is. But you got Din and Grogu again in the N1 Starfighter. They're really hyping up this N1 Starfighter. This is another one, same thing. N1 Starfighter, Din and Grogu ready for an adventure. Then you got these. They're smaller, but they're pretty cool. So that's the one we saw at the top. That's the one we saw there. But you have this. Again, Paz Vizsla, Bo-Katan, and Din Djarin, and Grogu, of course. But Paz Vizsla, again. You got a Paz Vizsla completely like his own poster. A Mando poster, Bo-Katan poster, the Armorer poster. You got a Grief Karga, Grief and some cargo. Grief Karga over here holding the child, Grogu. The Mandalorian Qi'ra, no Paz Vizsla, but you got the rest of them. It is weird. It is quite cool to see all these posters. So yes, Lucasfilm teases a huge role for Paz Vizsla. The Mandalorian brought many old favorites to the forefront. Characters like Bo-Katan and Ahsoka Tano have existed for years in animation, and still they get their big break when they finally appear in live action in The Mandalorian and reach even a bigger audience. However, the show has also introduced plenty of new characters like Din Djarin, Grogu, and Grief Karga, or Grief Kargo, all of whom are set to appear during the upcoming season. Another new face was Paz Vizsla, a relation to Pre-Vizsla, of course, who fans remember from the Clone Wars, where he served as the leader of the Death Watch. So Pre-Vizsla actually had the Darksaber at one point, and that's why Paz Vizsla thinks that he is the heir to the Darksaber and actually fights Din in the Book of Boba Fett. Both are also members of Clan Vizsla, of course, the Vizsla. It seems that Star Wars is pushing Paz Vizsla to the forefront which makes sense, given his ancestry. Clan Vizsla are descendants of Mandalorian Jedi Tar Vizsla. Now, Tar Vizsla is the only Mandalorian Jedi that we know of in Star Wars. The only one. The creator of the Darksaber, and really was a huge, crucial part of the Mandalorian versus Jedi Wars. Tar Vizsla was also the creator of the Darksaber and Mandalore, meaning he was the leader of Mandalore because he had the Darksaber. At the time of the Mandalorian, the people of Mandalore believe that the person who wields the Darksaber and wins it in combat becomes the rightful ruler of Mandalore. For generations, it was passed down to descendants of Tar Vizsla, but has more recently bounced from wielder to wielder. So at first, it was just going down the line of Vizslas. And that's why Paz Vizsla thinks that he has the right to the saber. But not anymore. It's whoever wins the saber. Therefore, it makes sense that Disney seems to be pushing a particular Mandalorian in the forefront. Likely, he will be vying for what he probably feels is his birthright, as the Darksaber is currently in Din Djarin's possession. So we've already seen him once, say, this is my Darksaber, give me it, please, and fought him for it. Maybe we'll see that again. If true, the third season of The Mandalorian may feature some epic showdowns between different groups, and this will surely delight Star Wars fans everywhere. The Mandalorian will premiere on March 1st. So, here's where I'm at with this. The Mandalorian for years and years and years and years and years have been in civil wars with themselves. Different clans like the Vizslas, the Wrens, the Death Watch, the Protectors, like all the different clans of the Mandalorians have been fighting each other. Now, Din wants to get them all back together to retake Mandalore. Does that mean that they're going to come together? Does that mean that they're going to all be together again and fight alongside of each other? Or does this mean that we're just going to have more civil wars on Mandalore? Is Paz Vizsla and Din Djarin's relationship, where Paz Vizsla wants the Darksaber and Din Djarin's definitely not giving it up, is that going to be a problem when they go to try to take Mandalore back from the Empire? Or are they going to be one big happy family and Paz Vizsla's going to be like, okay, you can keep the Darksaber for now? Star Wars Politics says, Grogu voiced by Liam Neeson. Imagine a Grogu imagine a Grogu sounding like Asian. Oh, you imagine Grogu sounding like Asian, but Liam Neeson's not. I'm missing something here. I'm completely missing something here. Voiced by Liam Neeson, he's already Qui-Gon Jinn. That would be a little confusing. Imagine Qui-Gon Jinn just starts talking out of Grogu. How weird would that be? I'm all for it. I'm all for it. All right, let's hear Pedro Pascal talking let's hear Pedro Pascal talking on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon about the Mandalorian. So this was a few days ago, 4 days ago. He was on the Tonight Show. So we should be fine copyright wise. I mean, I certainly hope so. Like, we didn't know that one already, Pedro. Tell us something we don't know, Pedro.
All right, that's good. I'll take that.
A lot of them. Big, epic battle. Plural. Maybe.
See, he said battle, not battles, but he said the word plural. This guy makes no sense. He's making no sense. He makes no sense. He just said battle. Plural. So many battles, possibly one battle. Pedro, the name of this actually says Pedro Pascal talks about The Last of Us and tries to dodge Mandalorian spoilers. He's doing pretty well.
Baby. Ooh, I love that. And Baby Yoda is not in this.
Baby Yoda? Jimmy, Did you do any research when you were interviewing this guy? It's Grogu. It's Grogu.
Season. No, I'm just kidding.
They couldn't figure his contract out for season 3. They're still in negotiation.
Yeah, he's got a good agent. How is
His head got bigger than his ear.
Yeah, nice. How is Grogu? What's he going to be doing this season?
He's been very good. He's still learning.
Still learning. Through the Force. He's still learning.
Oh.
Teaching.
Yeah. He is.
Grogu's teaching? Grogu's teaching who?
Protecting.
Yeah.
I think if I say any more,
Yep, don't say it.
I'll be replaced. Like not.
He said teaching. He's gone. He's gonna get fired. He said Grogu will be teaching. Teaching.
Not just as the Mandalorian, but as a human being in life. Like
That's how powerful Disney.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And their technology is so sophisticated, they'll just replace a different
AI,
Pedro Pascal. Exactly.
I mean, you're under a mask anyway, Pedro.
This is March 1st
I'm actually the Mandalorian. Plot twist.
on Disney Plus. By the way, that's when it premieres. Congrats on that. But let's
21 days. 21 days.
talk about this. But now you've done that, and it was the biggest thing, and oh my gosh. And then there was. Well, let's just go back. Game of Thrones.
Any Game of Thrones fans out there? Game of Thrones is pretty gosh darn good, I might say so myself. I mean, the ending, a lot of people didn't like it. I didn't like it as much as like it should have been, as great as it should have been, but it's good.
Home run. Narcos.
I never watched Narcos. Any Narcos fans out there? Narcos? Anybody?
Home run. Home run.
Literally, Pedro has not been in anything bad. He's literally like everything he's in is gold. Like it's gold. It's gold. It's gold. Ever again. I don't see any more Mandalorian. We're gonna go back to what he says though. Oh yeah. That's all Last of Us stuff. Any Last of Us fans out there? They're only talking about The Last of Us. Who cares? Oh, well, they show a clip of The Last of Us. All right, let's go back to what he said about The Mandalorian. All right, here's what he says.
Season 3.
I will say there will be more Mandalorians.
More Mandalorians. That's already been confirmed in the trailers. We've seen a bunch of Mandalorians. Sure.
All right, that's good. I'll take that.
A lot of them.
You can tell he's clearly biting his own tongue. Like he can't. He literally can't say anything. The difference between Star Wars and like other medias like Marvel and DC and stuff is Marvel will leak stuff on purpose, or Marvel will have actors say stuff on purpose, or try to leak things to get people excited. Star Wars keeps everything hush hush so that when it comes out, it's like, oh my god. The fact that they kept Luke Skywalker a secret for so long is still baffling to me. So he's clearly biting his tongue, trying to keep all these secrets, and they do a really good job. Props to Lucasfilm. I crap on Lucasfilm all the time. I crap on Kathleen Kennedy all the time. You gotta give them props when it's due, and this is one of the times. They are really good at keeping a secret. I must say.
Big epic battle.
Big epic battle, plural. Big epic battle, plural.
Plural, maybe.
Ooh, I love that. And Baby Yoda.
Then he goes to talk about Baby Yoda not being in the season. Grogu. So yeah, big battles, possibly plural, possibly. Possibly plural is what Pedro gave us there. So nothing. He literally gave us nothing. Pretty much a whole lot of nothing. But, there's some more news about this Mandalorian Season 3. It's not just this. There is a possibility that Sabine Wren from Star Wars Rebels, Sabine Wren could be in The Mandalorian Season 3. Now, what do we think about this? Now here's all right. Okay. Here's why I think that somebody threw this out there, and I was like, no. Then I thought about it for a second. I was like, oh, hey, hang on a second. Maybe. And here's what I think about this. She is a Mandalorian. She is from the House of Ren. She held the Darksaber at one point in time, gave it to Bo-Katan. So there's already one connection. You got her connection to Bo-Katan. That is literally like she's friends with Bo-Katan. She literally gave Bo-Katan the Darksaber to rule Mandalore. If that's not a close friend, I don't know what is. But you already have that. Then you have the fact that she is a Mandalorian. And they're going back to Mandalore, bringing all the Mandalorian back together. And she is one of the Mandalorian. And also, her mom was the leader of the clan. So she would technically be the next descendant of the clan. So she would be a leader of a clan for Mandalore. So why would she not be in the Mandalorian season 3? Is that too crazy? Is Sabine Wren being in the Mandalorian season 3 all that crazy? Is that too mind-boggling for you guys, or is that what's going to happen? I don't see her not being in there. Here's how I think about it. It is more likely that she is in there than she isn't, because of the fact that she's a Mandalorian, because of the fact that she's held the Darksaber, and because of her connection to Bo-Katan. Also, we know that she's coming in the Ahsoka show. She's already been cast. She's already confirmed to be there. She's already confirmed to be in the Mandalorian, the Ahsoka show. So why not just put her in the Mandalorian season 3 first? Is that crazy? Am I talking too crazy for you guys? Oops. Am I talking too crazy for you guys? Let's pull it up. Us pull it up. Do we think Sabine Wren? Let's end that last poll. So I said, do you think Mount Tantus will be in there? 100% yes. 100%. 100%. Said yes. All right. Will Sabine be in Mando season 3? Yes or no? You guys tell me. Will she be in the Mandalorian season 3? Sabine Wren herself. What do we think? Is it possible? Is it possible that Sabine Wren could be in the Mandalorian season 3? Like, is this so far out of the realm of possibility that I sound crazy up here? Because I thought about it a long time. See, last night I stared up at the ceiling, and I stared at it for a long time. And then I started to hallucinate, and I started seeing things. And the things I saw was was Sabine Wren in The Mandalorian season 3. And here's why. Ready? She's already confirmed cast. Natalie something is already confirmed to be Sabine Wren in the Ahsoka show, right? And she's already, of course, been in Star Wars Rebels. So her coming to live action is already confirmed. It's already going to happen. She's already been cast, but she's already been filming for the Ahsoka show. Also, she got cast a long time ago. Like a long time ago. Like a year ago, a long time ago. Like over a year ago. Like Ezra Bridger got cast in the summer, like August or something like that. Iman Esfandi got cast as live action Ezra Bridger. But Natalie got cast as Sabine Wren literally over a year ago. Meaning she was definitely around, already cast as Sabine to film some Mando stuff. She was definitely around. She was there for it. She could have filmed some stuff. For sure, she could have done anything and everything to be in this next season. Now, is it so ridiculously crazy to think that it is possible that Sabine could be in this third season? No. Because she's a Mandalorian. Because we're going back to Mandalore. Din Djarin's whole goal is to reclaim Mandalore. He's going back. He's getting all the Mandalorian back together, taking it back from the Empire, using the Darksaber to do so, and Sabine Wren will be there. What are we willing to bet? Here's what's going to happen. I will bet. Ready? Here's what I'll bet. I will bet. Ready? One free. One free Mandalorian Lego helmet. Ready? This is Boba Fett. Lego helmet, right? They make these. Lego makes these. Sure. Yes. Yes, we know this. They make Darth Vader ones. They make all that. They make Mandalorian ones too. And if they're still making them by the time the show is released, I will give away a free one. If Sabine Wren is not in The Mandalorian Season 3. That's the deal. That's the deal. That's how confident I am that Sabine Wren will be in there at some point, at any point in the season. Sabine will be there. She will. And that's what I have to say about that. Now, this is probably my favorite part of news that we have for Star Wars today. And it's not like the biggest news. It's not the craziest news. But it is, what I think at least, the coolest news. So, have you ever heard of a character named Qi'ra? Maybe from a movie called Solo. Anybody heard of Qi'ra from Solo? Anybody? Anybody heard of Qi'ra from Solo? Qi'ra, actually, I got a pop figure of her right there. Qi'ra from the Solo movie has been getting a lot of storytelling lately. She's been in the comics in this run called War of the Bounty Hunters, and then she was in the comics again in her own run called Crimson Reign, or I think it was Crimson Rise turned into Crimson Reign, something along those lines. But she has been in a lot of Star Wars projects recently. None being animated, none being live action, and none being Emily Clark coming back to play her. However, Qi'ra is likely to return, and here's why. It has been released that Emily Clark, that there will be a origin story for her character, Qi'ra, in novel form. So this is the report. Let me pull it up. So this is what we're looking at here. There we go. Star Wars announces Emily Clark's Qi'ra origin story. So this is going to be in a novel form. Don't get too excited. It's not TV just yet. And I say just yet because I do believe that we're still going to get Qi'ra in live action very, very soon. Hear me out. So this is the novel. A new book announcement could be the first hint at Star Wars exploring an origin story for Emily Clark's Qi'ra. Clark's solo A Star Wars story character has remained fairly quiet since 2018. The character has made a number of comic book appearances, the latest of which described as Qi'ra's, quote, endgame, after taking a leadership role in the criminal Crimson Dawn organization. Obviously, the Crimson Dawn was created, founded, and run by Darth Maul for a long time before that. And an on-screen feature of Clark's hero has even been teased. For now, at least, it looks like Qi'ra fans are going back in time before they go forward. So Qi'ra's new Star Wars book, New Star Wars book has been unveiled, focusing on Emily Clark's solo A Star Wars story character Qi'ra. The young adult novel, titled Crimson Climb, will be written by longtime Star Wars author E.K. Johnston. So E.K. also wrote the Ahsoka books. Johnston tweeted about the title, showing off the cover art for the book, saying, "I got to write you another Star Wars book, and this time we're going ... Crimson." And this is the cover photo. So from New York Times best-selling author of Ahsoka, the Ahsoka novel, E.K. Johnston. That's clearly Qi'ra, and it says Crimson Climb. A lot of K's in there. Crimson Climb. So this looks awesome. Just from the cover, it looks awesome. This is clearly before she becomes leader. She's holding Han Solo's dice in her hand. How badass is that? And it's going to be very cool. Seeing as this is a young adult novel, and given the title, it is likely Crimson Dawn will follow Clark's character with her climb up the ranks of the Crimson Dawn between the prologue of Solo and when the audience sees her in the closing of that same film. Because yes, there's a huge time gap in the Solo movie in Qi'ra's character arc. When we see her at the beginning, when Solo and her are trying to leave the planet. Oh, what planet are they from? What's the planet in Solo at the beginning of Solo? What's the name of it? Wow, that hurts my brain that I don't know that. Whatever. So there's a huge time gap there. Somebody please tell me in the chat. That hurts my brain that I don't know. What is it? Somebody please tell me, please. But when will fans see Qi'ra next? That's a great question. Lucasfilm finally going back to exploring Emily. Have they misspelled Emily's name like 10 times in this article? What is going on here? Emily Clark's Solo character once again is sure to be welcomed. Qi'ra's ascent in the Star Wars criminal underworld will be an exciting one for readers to follow along with. While it is not a full-blown big screen experience on Disney Plus streaming service, an E.K. Johnston written novel is pretty close. Johnston has become one of the prestige writers of the Star Wars literary world, having already tackled beloved characters like Ahsoka. The Ahsoka novel is unbelievable. Definitely recommend. Plus, this will fill in a valuable blank, taking place on another side of the galaxy at the same time as Han and Chewie's adventure in Solo. But could this novel be the first step towards a full-blown comeback of the character? Emily Clark, see, they spelt it differently again. Emily Clark, and in turn Qi'ra, was one of the best parts of Solo, so perhaps Lucasfilm is interested in bringing the actress back for some more action. And this is just the appetizer to the full-blown main course somewhere down the line. With Donald Glover's Lando series still supposedly in the books, do you think we'll ever get that Lando series? Let's be honest. Do we think we'll ever get that Lando series? Perhaps Clark's sci-fi crime boss would be a perfect villain to go up against Glover's hero. For now, though, fans will have to wait for the Crimson Climb as the novel looks to explore Qi'ra for the first time in a long while. So that novel, I believe, was given the release date of October of this year. So later this year, we'll be getting that novel about Qi'ra climbing the ranks in the Crimson Dawn. The Crimson Dawn, of course, being run by Darth Maul, which is so cool because Darth Maul actually trains Qi'ra. If any of you guys read that, the War of the Bounty Hunters, the Crimson Dawn run, any of that, did any of you guys read any of that comic stuff? Yeah. See, Mikey, I read her name like 10 times there, and I actually knew that I was saying it wrong, but I said it as Emily so many times that I had to just keep going. I was too far in that I couldn't go back. So it's Emily forever now, Mikey. I'm sorry, but she's just going to have to legally change her name to Emily because I said so. That's pretty much where we're at right now. Sorry. So for now on, her name is Emily Clark. So yeah. But do we want to see her back in live action? Her character of Qi'ra is so cool in the Solo movie and in the comic run where she actually is the ruler of the Crimson Dawn, comes in with the Knights of Ren and all these other crime syndicates and like tries to take down the Hutts, like tries to do a bunch of crazy stuff. She literally fights Vader one-on-one, stands her own for a while, but she doesn't have the Force, so she loses, of course. But she trained with Darth Maul, one of the greatest fighters, warriors of all time, Darth Maul. She was the apprentice, technically. The apprentice of Darth Maul, which is crazy, which is absolutely wild. So I would love to see her back in live action. Having Qi'ra back on the big screen would be perfection. And a lot of people thought it was a huge missed opportunity when she wasn't in the Book of Boba Fett. The Book of Boba Fett, Season 1, maybe there might be a Season 2 where she comes in, but Season 1 was like, when is the Crimson Dawn going to show up? When is Qi'ra going to show up? Is Solo going to show up? Thank you, Mikey. It is Emily, and it will be Emily forever. But no, is that how it's going to go? And then she didn't show up. The Crimson Dawn didn't show up. The Pikes were the big bad guy, and it really kind of sucked. But now we're at the point where it's like, is this how it's going to be? Is this how it's going to be? Is Emily just... Emily, yes, I said Emily. Is Qi'ra never going to come back into live action ever again? I don't know. I feel like they're doing too much with her off screen to not bring her back into live action. All this comic run stuff with her character, getting her own novel, literally doing all of this stuff off screen with her, just leads me to believe that she's coming, and she's coming very, very soon. And maybe even this year. She could be in The Mandalorian Season 3 or the Ahsoka show. And maybe if they announce Book of Boba Fett Season 2 at Star Wars Celebration, she could be in that. That could be the advertising for it. The Crimson Dawn is coming in, and that's why people are going to watch the second season of the Book of Boba Fett, because of Qi'ra coming back to the screen. I don't know. I don't know. You guys tell me. What do we think about Qi'ra possibly coming back to the screen in a Disney Plus show, or maybe even a movie? What do we think? Could we see her in the Lando show? Do we actually think we're getting the Lando show? Donald Glover's Lando show. Is that a thing that we actually think still exists? Is still a thing that's going to happen? Like, they announced that, 4 years ago? And since they announced it 4 years ago, we've had 0 announcements about it. 0. These are the amount of announcements we've gotten about the Lando show in the last 4 years. Do you think we'll get a Lando show? And do you think that that Qi'ra will be in that Lando show with the Crimson Dawn? Because they already have a connection through Han Solo. Do you think that's possible? Do you think that's possible? I don't know. I really hope we get more Qi'ra in live action. Qi'ra is the best character, I believe, from the Solo film. So I really hope that we do get more of her character, and it would be very cool to see her back on the big screen. But it seems unlikely at this time. It does. It does. But still, this novel is going to be great. I mean, I'm going to read the heck out of this thing, and I'm sure some of you guys will too. And I know a lot of you guys don't really read the books, blah, blah, blah. But if I were to give some advice, it would be read this one. It would be read this one. Because it's going to be Qi'ra, it's going to be the Crimson Dawn, it's going to be Darth Maul, it's going to be, what's the guy who plays Vision's character's name? What's the guy who plays Vision's character's name? The guy in the Solo movie, the guy who plays Vision in Marvel, what's his name? What's his name? I'm so bad with names today, what the heck? Her boss. What's her boss's name? She takes his role, goes and trains with Maul. Anybody? Come on, I know you guys know it. Oh, it's killing me. It's killing me. It's gonna kill me. I am dying right now because I don't know. But I'm sure he'll be in it. The Crimson Dawn. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. What's really bad about it is the comic run did terrible. Like, sales-wise, comics are so far down. It's not even funny. But it's not. Comics are good. They're good. Just people don't know that they're good because nobody really has access to buying comics or wants to buy comics because they're $4 a piece. It's like, why would I do that? It's just not. It's not. But if I were to recommend October, this book's coming out, I would go do it. Now we got some Andor news. I know, Andor, whatever you want to call it, Andor news. Season 2 is going back to a familiar place. Familiar key location, as the title of this says. So the Andor show is filming right now. If any of you guys didn't know that, the second season is filming right now. Season 2 of the Andor show will be returning to a major Star Wars location that is also featured in Season 1 of the Disney Plus series. A return to Coruscant. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? A return to Coruscant. Really? Only half the characters in the show are literally based on Coruscant. Mon Mothma, Luthen, what's the Imperial lady? Cereal Bar Boy. He's based in Coruscant too. So of course we're going back to Coruscant. In the recent report, the Bespin Bulletin's photos showed the McLaren Technical Center in England, which is where they were shooting for Season 1 for Coruscant, and they're back there now shooting for Season 2. So this is this building in England. and they're using it to film the Andor Season 1 and Andor Season 2. The photos from the report clearly show the outside of the McLaren Technology Center with multiple signs around it saying property that displays EE. The phrase on the sign stands for E&E Industries, which is notably the production company that was used during film of Season 1 of Andor. Now okay, now that's a little, that's a trip that you have to take to get to that, not gonna lie. But of course, EE, this sign right here, that is pointing in the direction of this building, clearly signifies that they are recording Season 2 of the Andor show, and it's going to take place on Coruscant. So if any of you guys were worried about this pink sign with the blue arrow that said EE on it, oh, don't worry. That just means they're filming Andor Season 2, and it's going to take place on Coruscant. This EE sign right here, hang on. This is more important than anything else we've talked about today, and it needs to be zoomed in very far. Hang on, let me. Right. See this EE, this pink EE right here? See this? This is the most important sign you've ever seen in your life. You want to know why? Because this means that Coruscant is coming back in the Andor Season 2. You see that? You see that? You see that? Andor Season 2, Coruscant. EE pink sign. Crazy. This is crazy. Doesn't get much crazier than this. The reports indicate the Coruscant spaceport will be returning at some point, if not multiple times, in Season 2 of the show. Filming could currently be underway at the site, and it is unclear how long it could continue. Another pink sign for EE. Okay. Honestly, Andor, the further and further we get away from it, the less and less I care. Pretty much. Like The Mandalorian, Season 3, I'm getting so hyped for. The Ahsoka show, I've already been ridiculously hyped for. Even the Skeleton Crew and the Acolyte show, I've been way more hyped for than the Andor Season 2. The further and further we get away from that finale of the first season of the Andor show, the more and more I'm like, what was that? What did we just experience? Like, why did we get the Andor show in the first place? Like, what? Sure, it was quality. It was visually appealing, to say the least. But why? Why? And now we got to wait for a second season to just watch that same boring show over and over again. Talk about hitting the snooze button. Talk about Star Wars politics. You know what? I'm not going to be doing live watch parties for the Andor Season 2. Because I will not be staying up till 3 a.m. to watch that show. Just won't happen. It won't happen. It most definitely will not happen. Now. Oh, hang on. This just came out 2 minutes ago. Breaking news. Bilbo says, "Can you tell me the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise?" You know what, Bill? I'm feeling like I can today. I feel like I can tell you the whole thing today. Hang on. Tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Hang on. It's coming back to me. Give me a sec. Hang on. It's coming back. Hang on. It's just coming back to me. Hang on. It's coming back to me. Give me a sec. Hang on. Okay, hang on. Give me 1 second. It's coming back to me. It's right on the tip of my tongue. You ready? Okay, have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. It's a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis was a Dark Lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise. He could use the Force to influence the midichlorians to create life. He had such a knowledge of the dark side that he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. He became so powerful, the only thing that he was afraid of was losing his power, which eventually, of course, he did. Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew. Then his apprentice killed him in his sleep. Ironic. He could save others from death, but not himself. Sheev Palpatine. Mike Melanson, 2023, February 7th. And that is the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise, Bilbo. I really hope that satisfied you. I didn't look it up. That was right off the tip of my tongue. What are you talking about? I did not look that up. You're crazy. All right. So this just came out 2 minutes ago. Disney announces first ever cable TV release for The Mandalorian. So they kind of did this at the end of the Andor show to get more people to view it. But this happened, this is happening right now. This was posted 2 minutes ago. This is breaking news. This is breaking news, okay? So let's read it together. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Gotta love the breaking news. Disney announces first ever cable TV release of The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian's first episode will be getting a surprise historic screening on broadcast television later this month. Wait. Later this month? Or March 1st? Hang on. Later this month? The Mandalorian airing on television? Gizmodo, I don't know how much we can trust this guy, reported that the first Star Wars Disney Plus series, The Mandalorian, is set to debut off the streaming service for one night only. The show will make its broadcast debut with Chapter 1, The Mandalorian, on ABC Freeform and FX on February 28th at 8 p.m. So Chapter 1 of Season 1? What? Chapter 1, Season 1? The special event is occurring just ahead of the season's third premiere on March 1st, and Lucasfilm using this event to stir up hype for the new batch of episodes. So this is the first, so they're airing the first episode of the first season on national television. Not as hype as I thought it was going to be. I really thought that they were going to be releasing the first episode of the third season, but that's okay, I guess. Okay. Well, never mind. This is not breaking news. This is a letdown yet again from Lucasfilm. Okay, let's keep reading. Previously, Andor was the only other Disney Plus original series to get a special broadcast presentation, with it having aired the first 2 episodes. Yeah, after the finale. Okay. That was lame. Never mind. I take it back. Not breaking news. That was not breaking news worthy. I am so sorry. that was bad. So Chapter 1 of Season 1 will be being aired on ABC Freeform and FX on February 24th at 8 p.m., which I guess is cool. I mean, getting people hyped for The Mandalorian is the goal. But that's a letdown. That's a big letdown right there. That's a letdown for sure. Yeah. That's a big letdown. Yeah. Breaking news, not. That's a letdown. That's sad. That's devastating. Okay, moving on. Moving right along. Move along. So that was our breaking news for the day, I guess. That stinks. So I don't know if you guys. Hang on. Here's a Ahsoka Disney Plus show. Every character confirmed to appear in the Ahsoka show. Should we go over this? Every character confirmed in the Ahsoka show. Let's go over this. The Ahsoka show, I mean, is unbelievably hyped already. So let's get more hyped. With the Ahsoka show heading to Disney Plus at some point this year, why not explore who is in it and who isn't going to be in a part of the highly anticipated Star Wars series? So when it comes to leading characters, she was introduced to the fans in the animated 2008, I almost just said 2020, 2008 feature of the Clone Wars. Blah, blah, blah. We know who Ahsoka is. So Ahsoka's Rosario Dawson is confirmed, of course. Yes, Rosario Dawson Ahsoka will, in fact, be in her own show. Now that's some breaking news right there. Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka Tano will be in her own show. Now that's crazy. While that might not be news, it is still worthy of mentioning again how this will be the first big project the character has her name on. Needless to say, it's long overdue. For many fans might not know about the character is how she was saved from death thanks to Ezra Bridger cheating time and space and saving her through the World Between Worlds. Now, I just made a full video on the World Between Worlds on my channel. Go check that out. It was my best video. It's performing at its best, like the best video, and edit-wise, it was my best. We're just getting better here at the channel, but it's crazy. The World Between Worlds is absolutely wild, and the Ahsoka show is going to go insane by the time we get there. But this is almost certainly to play a key role in Ahsoka's journey on screen, and will hopefully lead her to some interesting places like the World Between Worlds. In her journey across 6 episodes on Disney Plus, the former Jedi will also be running into some former friends, first of which is none other than Sabine Wren, which we talked about, who could be in The Mandalorian Season 3, which would be cool. But this says during her 6 episodes. Did we know that it was 6 episodes? The Ahsoka show is going to be 6 episodes, I guess. Okay. Sabine Wren is going to be played by Natasha. Did I say Natasha earlier, or was I saying Natalie? I was saying Natalie, wasn't I? Natasha Liu Bordizzo. She was cast a long time ago to be Sabine Wren in the show. At the end of Star Wars Rebels, Sabine is seen staring at the mural of her friends right before she heads off with Ahsoka to do the unknown. Pause. Natasha Liu Bordizzo casting was announced all the way back in November of 2021. Like I said, over a year ago. Far before Ahsoka had even started rolling the cameras. Maybe because she could pop up before that in The Mandalorian Season 3. Oddly enough, the character may have actually already debuted in the most recent trailer for The Mandalorian's 3rd season. We debunked this last week. This is not true. The show would be the perfect place to introduce the character first to the wider audience. She is a Mandalorian after all. Yes, that was kind of the thing. Hayden Christensen is back as Anakin Skywalker in the Ahsoka show. Yes! That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Hayden Christensen is back. Originally reported on by The Hollywood Reporter, it has been revealed that Hayden Christensen would be a part of the Ahsoka show. However, it seems the word of his return was never supposed to be announced. Whoops. As even the star herself, Rosario Dawson, had to take down a post congratulating the actor on his return. Yeah, that was pretty weird. Like they were like, "Oh, he's coming back for Ahsoka." Rosario Dawson posted something on Instagram that was like, "I'm so excited to work with Anakin," or she said something about snips or like something along those lines. It was very cool, and then she had to take it down because they were like, people aren't supposed to know that, but now everybody knows it. It's kind of too late. It's kind of too late. Maybe she should have been on top of that beforehand. Well, he will be appearing. Fans aren't entirely sure about in what capacity it will be. Force Ghost, flashbacks, what it is. Previous rumors claimed that the audience might see an alternate version of the events of Revenge of the Sith. Could this mean viewers will witness the Jedi Knight go up against his former apprentice on Mustafar? I really hope so. Another way he could pop up is through the use of good old Force Ghosts. Perhaps Ahsoka's former master has some useful advice during her journey. Possible. They didn't even mention the fact that he could be flashbacks. Could just be flashbacks. Could be flashbacks. Could be flashbacks. Chopper. Unknown actor. Sorry. Chopper. Chopper's a lot of people's favorite droid. If you watch Star Wars Rebels, he's awesome. He's kind of like an annoying little droid, like whatever. So everybody's favorite astromech droid, that is from Star Wars Rebels. Okay. There is still R2-D2, let's not forget. is finally making a live-action debut, not including a quick cameo in Rogue One. I bet you guys missed that one. The news is officially announced last year's Star Wars Celebration when the actual droid rolled out onto stage as well to talk about the Ahsoka show. I actually did not see that. That's pretty cool. The character is actually voiced by Dave Filoni in Rebels. I did not know that either. Doesn't he? He doesn't talk. He just goes, whoa, 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 whoa. That's Dave Filoni. Or is it me? So it's likely that he'll be lending his talents once again, though this is not yet confirmed. Harrison Dula. So this is rumored. This is not yet confirmed either. But Mary Elizabeth Winstead. We covered this a few weeks ago, but Mary Elizabeth Winstead, or maybe it was over a month ago, but who knows, is going to be Harrison Dula possibly. Well, many hoped that the brilliant pilot, one of the best pilots of all time, and leading figure of the rebellion would be involved in the Ahsoka show somehow. It was finally confirmed alongside Chopper at Star Wars Celebration. Oddly enough, though, while the back of her head was seen in the footage shown to the crowd, none of the panelists actually acknowledged the character at all. But who will play her? Well, nobody has officially been announced yet, but recent rumors indicated that it will be Mary Elizabeth Winstead. We kind of talked about that before. Interestingly enough, Winstead has been part of the show for a long while, having formerly been announced without a character being attached. Now, this is my favorite character coming into live action. Ahsoka is one of my favorite characters. Ezra is one of my favorite characters. Darth Maul is one of my favorite characters. Anakin, of course. I got a bunch. But Eman Esfandi is going to be Ezra Bridger. And I'm sure you guys know, because I've said it a million times, I just finished Star Wars Rebels. That show's so good. So good. So good. Last time Ezra was seen, he had just used his Force-sensitive space whales to hijack Thrawn and save his friends, as one does. Let's read that again. Last time Ezra Bridger was seen, he had just used Force-sensitive space whales to hijack Thrawn and save his friends, as one does. Yes, it is true. That is what happened. Now, he gets to return to live action. He gets to return in live action, no less. Back in September of 2022, the actor Eman Esfandi was announced to be playing the character, though past that, no official details have been released. I mean, that's all you can really ask. There has been plenty of rumors, however, such as how the leading characters will find Ezra in the new region of space known as the New Beyond. The New Beyond's going to be awesome, where he will also be clashing with the next person on the list, Grand Admiral Thrawn, rumored. And they don't have a cast here, but it is heavily rumored and most likely to be Lars Mikkelsen, who voiced him in Star Wars Rebels originally. Well, let's read what they have to say. Grand Admiral Thrawn. It's hard to believe that somebody who has 6 canonical books, that can't be a real word. Canon books? Why can't you just say canon books? Canonical. To their name, not including his Legends content, has still never been seen in live action. He has 6 books, by the way. 6. Or he's in 6 books. But with a large majority of Star Wars Rebels cast returning, it is no surprise that Grand Admiral will be following. I mean, he was mentioned in the Mandalorian season 2. The iconic villain previously got the name drop in Ahsoka's debut in the Mandalorian episode, so his return has been in the works for a while, even if his involvement is still technically a rumor. Despite the character's original actor, Lars Mikkelsen, publicly denying getting the offer to play the role in live action, it is still strongly rumored that he will be putting on the blue makeup. Not only that, but he could end up becoming the big bad of the larger Mandoverse size story. So Lars Mikkelsen publicly denying it is obviously no surprise there. Why would he just come out and tell us that he's going to be Thrawn? That would be dumb. So a villainous admiral is going to be played by Ray Stevenson. Now this is all rumor as well, none of this has been confirmed, but back in early 2022, The Hollywood Reporter revealed that Ahsoka had cast Ray Stevenson as a mysterious villain. Maybe Thrawn, I mean. Doesn't really look like a Thrawn, but you never know. Though the report specifically mentioned the actor would not be playing Thrawn, who remains the main series villain in the series. Okay, well, there you go. He's not Thrawn. Past that, there's no concrete information about who Stevenson will be playing. However, the outlet did mention how their source slated that he would be playing an admiral under Thrawn. However, more recent rumblings suggest he's someone else entirely, as in this, I was calling him Balin. Is it Babylon? Babylon? Babylon. Is it Babylon? Okay. A rumored former Jedi Master corrupted by the dark side in Babylon. I thought it was Balin. I must have been reading something crazy. So, potential mild spoilers for the Ahsoka show, if any of this is true. Making Star Wars recently released supposed details on another Star Wars character to feature in the upcoming series, a corrupted former Jedi, one who goes by the name of Babylon, but we think that it's just a code name for now. Not only will he be force sensitive, but he'll also be commanding his own battalion of special stormtroopers as he pursues the show's protagonists Ahsoka, Ezra, and Sabine. Additionally, whispers indicate that he could be working under Grand Admiral Thrawn, which is crazy. Now, Shin, which is rumored to be played by Ivana Sokono. I can't pronounce names. You guys know this already. Again, potential mild spoilers. The same outlet revealed that Babylon also shed light on a character named Shin, who would be the apprentice of the former mentioned Babylon. Additionally, she is a dark side force user who has ties with the Night Sisters, because this new Beyond might have connections to the Night Sisters. We know this. That name might look familiar to Star Wars Clone Wars fans, as they are the group of witches that popped up from time to time. In fact, Shin might be a former Night Sister herself. And the honorable mention on the list is a Loth Wolf, because there are rumors of Ahsoka possibly riding one. Heavily spoilers, blah, blah, blah. Again, Making Star Wars previously shared the word that, while it might not be a character per se, an important creature will still show up in the Ahsoka show, a Loth Wolf. Not only will it be involved in several sequences throughout the show, but Ahsoka will be riding one in several scenes. She may even have her own specific one named Doom. Now, they're spelling it right here as Doom, but Doom in Star Wars Rebels is Kanan Jarrus, and when he dies and becomes one with the Force or whatever, that is because he is becoming one with the Loth Wolves on Lothal, and actually the Loth Wolf Doom helps Ezra. It is all crazy. You have to watch Rebels to understand this, but they're saying that the name of the specific wolf that Ahsoka will be riding in the Ahsoka show is Doom, and that's Kanan Jarrus. So that's pretty crazy. Do you think we'll see Zeb? Do you think we'll see Zeb in the Ahsoka show? Do you think we'll see Zeb, the great, what's his species name again? Zeb. He's a. I'm blanking on it. I'm really forgetting everything today. That's why I'm definitely not staying up till 3 a.m. to watch The Bad Batch. Star Wars politics. But yeah, that Loth Wolf named Dune might be sick. Could be Kanan Jarrus' actual live action appearance, kind of, as in a giant wolf. It's going to be awesome. So that is all the news today. That is all of the news for Star Wars today, and it was a lot. And I'm really hoping that the next two episodes of The Bad Batch, episode 7 and episode 8, called The Clone Conspiracy and Truth and Consequences, are going to be a lot better than the first 6 before them. And I really hope that this is the case, because I want it to be good. I want the show to be good. I'm not rooting for it to be bad. Like, we want The Bad Batch to be good, and I'm really hoping that it will be. That's kind of the only thing I can hope as a Star Wars fan, is that this show will be good. But we'll see. we will see, and we will see in a few hours. I mean, by a few, I mean 12. But in 12 hours, we will see how good these next 2 episodes, the halfway mark of the Bad Batch, will be. And of course, let me pull up the countdown. Hang on. Oh, I don't have the countdown up anymore. 21 days until the Mandalorian Season 3. And the hype just keeps getting more and more and more for it. Of course, smash like if you like this video. Hit subscribe so you can watch all the videos on this channel and follow along. I mean, we're getting so much better here. We're getting better technology. We're getting better editing. We're getting better thumbnails. We're doing it all better. So hopefully we can get excited for The Mandalorian together. We can get excited for the Bad Batch together in the weeks to come, because it'll get better and we'll actually have a plot to the show and we'll be actually having fun. This was, an hour, 21 minutes? We had a ton of news to talk about. There was a ton of fun stuff to go on the stream. And the best part was, knock on so much wood, that we did not freeze. And if we freeze in these last couple seconds, that's just because I had to mention it, But I had a lot of fun with you guys. I'm sure you guys are the best. You guys are the best. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and the bell so you get notified when I post videos. I'm going to get on out of here. You guys are the best. Get excited for the Bad Batch coming out tomorrow. 2 episodes. We'll be breaking them down on Thursday live at 1 p.m. So don't miss out on that as well. And may the Force be with you.